2nd, 2021 regular meeting of the Anniston City Council. At this time, I will call on Councilmember Smith, who will lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for all that you have done and will continue to do for us. More specifically, I thank you for allowing us the opportunity to serve in these specific capacities. I pray that you grant us the wisdom, peace, and sense of unity that we need in order to effectively lead the community that we serve. And all these things I ask in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Will the clerk please call the roll for the establishment of the quorum?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Here.
Councilmember Smith?
Present.
Councilmember Harris?
Present.
Mayor Draper?
Here, a quorum is established. Is there a motion to waive the reading of and approve the minutes of the January 19, 2021 regular meeting? So moved. There's a second.
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, those minutes are approved. Mr. Folks, other than there has been a request to remove item F from the consent agenda, we'll take it as a stand-alone motion immediately after the consent agenda. Are there any other additions or deletions to the agenda? No, sir. With that, then I will move that we adopt the agenda as just amended as to the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, the agenda is adopted. The first item we have tonight is to receive public comments on a restaurant retail liquor application, and it is for Fat Boys Pizza and Wings LLC, DBA Fat Boys Pizza and Wings, located at 270 Glade Road within the corporate limits. I believe someone from Fat Boys is here. Yes, sir. If you would, step up the microphone and introduce yourself and your address for our record.
Arthur Chandler, the owner of Fat Boys Pizza and Wings.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler. We appreciate you being here tonight. This is just part of the process where, folks can.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
This is just a part of the process.
Okay.
People can give public comments as to an application. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, we've been working on it for quite a while, and we're getting close, and selling pizzas, wings, sandwiches, salads.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. We appreciate your willingness to do that. Does anyone wish to be heard as to this license application? Any questions or comments from council?
Where are you located?
270 Glade Road.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, at this time, then I will close this public hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it very much. Okay, we will next receive public comments on some board confirmations. It's for Terry Smiley to the Museum of Natural History, and Rodney Bombi to the MDA. These are Councilmember Roberts' nominations. So, Councilmember Roberts, if you would, can I please have you introduce Mr. Smiley?
Mr. Terry Smiley, come on over and introduce yourself. I don't want to do you injustice.
No, I'm good. And Mayor, Mr. Folks, and to the council, also Mr. Robert Terry Smiley, 1021 Glenwood Terrace, Vice President of Alabama Power. Just really looking forward to serving on the board and being a service to the community.
Well, Terry, I would just like to say I appreciate your service to the community already. I mean, you always do a great job with the power company, really leading the way with economic development, and I really appreciate your willingness to serve on this board. We really do. It means a lot.
And I want to actually ditto exactly what the mayor just said, Mr. Smiley. Thank you so much for coming to Anniston and serving on the board of one of our treasures. The Museum of Natural History is absolutely one of our shining stars in the city willingness to step on board for the museum. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
Thank you all. It's a little difficult talking in that.
It is.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Terry. Okay, our next confirmation hearing is for Rodney Fondy. Rodney, if you could come to the front and.
So I can
Here
introduce him.
we go, Dave.
So, come on up, coach. So, when I looked long and hard to try to put somebody on the MDA, and I looked long and hard and it all of a sudden hit me. So, years ago, Coach Fondy, as I would call him, he used to coach a baseball team for the Park and Recreation out there. And that's how we met and became good friends. First year I coached against him, and they beat us pretty bad. Then he took me under his wings and we started coaching together, and we coached collectively some of the kids that you've seen in Anniston and Oxford. We've coached most of them. We can say we have at least one professional football player, one professional baseball player that has come through our program. And so Coach Funky was one of the main guys who helped calm me down when dealing with people. So yeah, Coach Funky, thank you.
And Mayor.
Yes, sir.
And council here. My name is Rodney Fonby. I've been here, I'm originally from Lincoln, but I moved here in 1990. And I've been here ever since. I'm junior probation officer, which I got an opportunity to work with the mayor.
Yes, sir.
During that time. So I've been here for years. Councilman Roberts asked me to be on this board. I feel like it was my duty to help the city any way that I can, because it's not my city, it's everybody's city. So I decided that yes, I would get on the board and do what I can to help the city of Anniston. I know we have the label of the model city. Well, we need to make sure that happens, that it is the model city. And whatever I can do to make that happen, I'm here to do it. Basically, that's it. Got an opportunity to coach. I also had an opportunity to be with Mr. Steve Folks, the president of the Men Fellowship, that done some things in the community. So I've been around for a while. I'm in the process of, as of Monday, I have 25 years in as a junior probation officer, and I'm close to retirement. So, that's it.
Well, listen, thank you for willing to serve, Rodney. And yeah, I've known Rodney for over 20 years, and you have served our community very well for a number of years, and we appreciate all of your service. And you know, this is an important board, and I'm very excited that you're willing to serve on the MDA. I really am. I appreciate your willingness to do so.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bobby, thank you for your willingness. I live out on McClellan, so the MDA and what they do is very important to me personally. If I can ever assist you with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Councilman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Fonby. I really appreciate your service as well. It is a critical board,
Thank you.
and I thank you.
And I share the same sentiments. Any choice that DD makes, I'll definitely support. So you must be a great guy.
Thank you.
And so, you know, y'all are on the agenda tonight for the consent agenda, so we'll be voting on it in just a minute. Thank you, Roger, very much. Okay, folks, is there any unfinished business? Okay, let's move on then to the consent agenda. I will move that we approve the consent agenda with the removal of item F, which we'll take as a standalone motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll as to the consent agenda?
Councilmember Jenkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember
Yes.
Mayor Draper.
Yes, the consent agenda is approved. Let's go ahead now and take up as a standalone motion, the motion to approve retail liquor application for Fat Louis Pizza in Waynesville. So we just had, a public hearing on that, pretty self-explanatory. I will move for passage and adoption. Is there a second? Council discussion.
I would
Jenkins. Anything else? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins,
Abstain.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Graham.
Yes, that motion is approved. Thank you, sir. Okay, our last item is an ordinance. It's on its first reading, but I will entertain a motion for immediate consideration. And it is an ordinance declaring surplus real property and authorizing conveyance of the same. This has to do with property around Barbara Terrace for the Anniston Housing Authority. It is pretty short, so I'm actually going to read this ordinance for the benefit of the public. And it is an ordinance declaring surplus real property and authorizing the conveyance of same. Whereas the city of Anniston does own and possess certain real property comprising plus or minus 3.81 acres located at 0 D Street, Anniston, Alabama 36201, more specifically described as follows. There's a legal description there, referring to it as the property. Whereas the Anniston Housing Authority desires to acquire the property for use in connection with this project for the redevelopment of the Barbara Terrace public housing property. Whereas the council previously granted AHA an option to purchase the property for said purpose, subject to the council's passage and adoption of an ordinance declaring the property surplus as found herein. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Anniston, Alabama as follows. Declaration of surplus real property is hereby established and declared that the property described above is surplus real property. It is no longer used or needed by the city for municipal purposes. Section 2, conveyance of the property to the Anniston Housing Authority. The mayor and the city clerk are hereby authorized and directed to execute the test respectively, forming on behalf of the city of Anniston, Alabama, statutory warrants deed, and to take such further actions as is necessary to grant, sell, and convey the property to AHA in accordance with the terms of the option contract between the city and AHA dated February 8th, 2019. Section 3, effective date. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption and publication one time in the Anniston Star, the newspaper of general circulation published in the city of Anniston, Alabama. The city clerk is hereby ordered and directed to cause copy of this ordinance to be published one time in said newspaper. This is something that we've been working on for a while with the Housing Authority. Actually began with the previous council. And even though it's on its first reading tonight, which would typically mean that we would not be able to take that up tonight, it's, you know, pretty standard, self-explanatory. I think this is something that we could go ahead and take care of tonight. So I will entertain a motion for unanimous consent. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Will the clerk, okay, now will the clerk please call the roll as the issue of unanimous consent?
Councilmember Jenkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Graham.
Yes, okay, that having been passed, we can consider this tonight. So I will move for passage and adoption of this ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
Council discussion. Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Graham.
Yes. Okay, so is there any other additional or other matters that may come before council? Okay, with that, I will move that we stand in adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Graham.
Yes, we are adjourned.